A talking tree?
Where yes?
This is Pinalen Pine Island, where every scent brings a different world. We've got lavender, floral, and more. But today, it's about the pine. Try it.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, boy.
Huh?
2 push and 2 pace.
This magical pine pushing gives you 28 uses per bottle, twice as concentrated, all with real pine oil freshness. Pinalen. Twice.
Welcome back to day 2 of sailing at the National Family Island Regatta, the 69th version here in beautiful Elizabeth Harbor, Georgetown. I'm your host, Dwight Hart, joined by Captain Patterson Plug. We call him Captain Plug out of Abaco. He's joining me for his first full-time go at it for this broadcast. They're doing an excellent job, by the way. Captain Plug, second day of C-class sailing, about to get started.
Yeah, we got a lot of boats out there on the line. I see a few stragglers still making their way out to the line, but I think we should be starting the C-class race pretty quickly. Briefly, the weather conditions are pretty much the same as yesterday, just windy. The sea conditions in Elizabeth Harbor are okay, but it's still windy, so sail selection is going to be critical today, as well as coordination between the crew and the skipper.
All right, and this race is the Pinalen Multipurpose Cleaner Cup Race. It's brought to you by Bahamas Wholesale Agency, the sponsor of this upcoming Cup Race, which is also the first official points race in the C-class.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the regatta is you'll get the national championship by having the lowest amount of points when all is said and done on Saturday. So first place gets 1 point, second place gets 2 points. So, hopefully we have a nice, clean, safe race with the C-class here today. It's going to be challenging, but I think the captains and crews are up for the challenge and should be getting underway shortly here.
And just to recap from yesterday's Commodore Emeritus Cup race, that was sponsored by Children's Bay, I believe.
Yes.
Or Hideaways, sorry. Hideaways? Children's Bay.
Children's Bay.
Children's Bay. The points from yesterday do not carry through only and unless we're not able to sail one of the set points race over the next 2 days, 3 days including today. But we can all just go back and recap the finish top 4, I guess, from yesterday's race. Sassy Sue coming across Stefanos in first place, followed by I don't know if we can call H2 a black horse or a white horse, but certainly a boat who we know sails well, but wasn't necessarily thought to be one of the top finishes in this race, but she was really sailing extremely fast yesterday.
I tell you what, on that second lap there, they found something, and they came into the wounded marker blazing hot and moved into second place, and that's how they finished in second place.
And that boat sailing out of Black Point Exuma, and I was reminded earlier this morning from one of the fire crew, Captain Patterson, doing an extremely good job sailing for the first time under your ownership, coming in third place, followed by Jeff Gale and crew on It Ain't Right.
Good showing from Abaco yesterday, and that boat, the Crazy Partner, that now belongs to the Abaco crew. We were talking about it last night, and I said that, if memory serves me correctly, that boat's been National Family Island Regatta champion in the past. Well, somebody else piped up and said, yeah, but not that boat. That boat is gone. This one is a new Crazy Partner, and this one hasn't won the national championship first. So
she's got to prove herself.
She's got to prove herself, and I tell you what, it'd be a pretty good accomplishment if Abaco could get that boat into first place overall.
I believe I saw a little bit of smoke from the shore, so I think that's the 1 minute gun has gone off. As a matter of fact, I take that back. The gun has gone, and the boats are heaving and hoving. Anchors being pulled. I don't think all the boats made it to the start line on time, so some are going to get left behind. But the ones that are there are going, and the sails are going up. I can see number 44, Widdy K, on our screens. Number 90, Xena, sail going up. 43, number 12. 711. A couple of boats still trying to struggle to get their sails up. I don't see number 10 as yet. Sassy Sue. I don't see the boats out of Abaco just yet. We're looking for sail number 18 for It Ain't Right. And it's going to take us a little bit just to get a handle on who's who. And there goes number 10, Sassy Sue. She's up and out. I mentioned number 8, Slaughter, a boat that swept Farmers Key just a couple of months ago.
Looks like a pretty
Going up.
clean start. I can't see the monitor at the moment, but just looking at the fleet in my naked eye, it looks like a pretty clean start. I'm not seeing much in the way of tangles ups. Looks like sails are mostly up, and the majority of the fleet going off on port tack. I'm sorry, starboard tack.
I think I see one boat coming on port tack towards us down at the lower, maybe 2.
I got 3 coming over, 3, 4 coming over on port tack, coming to the right side.
It looks like we've had a little tangle.
Oh, yes.
2 sails hooked up. Can't say exactly who it is at this point. Number 88, I believe, looks like one of them. 25 being the other. We'll get those sails and names as they get themselves all cleared up.
So a little kerfuffle in the middle of the start line there. Looks like they're clearing it. I see one boat at least drifting backwards. Meanwhile, over there to the left, we got a lot of boats out in clear air pulling away.
All right. We'll allow you just to keep going. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And as we get our drones up in short order, we'll be able to give you a better view of who's what, where.
Carson, I can't see this. Like it needs to come this way a bit. Okay. Still got a boat there on the right of the screen, and sails luffing, which is just going to slow them down. There's a couple of the port tackers coming up in the front there.
You can see new eyes on your screen. Number 45 at the bottom. Looks like she's gotten herself out, but she's on port. And a couple of boats still making their way to the start line. They're going to be completely out of this race, but you still want to get started so you don't have a DNF and get at least some points. Number 28, Fugitive, also a boat sailing out of Rollville, coming towards us down on the bottom of the course. And we'll see which strategy is going to work best for which boats in this first lap. My understanding, Cap, is that the downwind marker is going to change, I believe, with each lap, so that the boats have a better chance of getting there without having to fight the wind too much coming downwind.
Yeah, I saw that note from the race committee that they may be adjusting the marker, so the wind direction must be shifting a little bit. Yesterday it was pretty steady in one direction.
All right, and right in front of us right now, you can see number 45 going back now on a port tack.
New eyes.
And number 28 coming right into your screen. Full speed. Another boat out of Rollville.
Fleet's starting to spread out a little bit, but the majority is still off to the left there. So I guess they're thinking that's going to be the favorite side of the course. Yesterday it was more to the right side over here by us and up the middle. But if the wind is going to be shifty today, then that's part of being skipper. Trying to get the best lifts, the best wind directions. Still going to be a long beat up to the windward marker.
And you can see number 28 now also about to go back on a port tack. Not a very good tack. She's almost come to a standstill, losing some ground, but finally starting to get the wind in her sail. And I can tell you, new eyes, number 45, sailing extremely well as she makes her way back up towards the middle of the course, Cap. And we'll see where she ends up relative to the boats that are coming on starboard straight down.
It's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out with which side of the course is going to be favored. Almost looks like we got almost an even split now with
boats that went starboard, boats that went port.
Yep.
And we're going to now try to pick up some of the more well-known boats to see where they are. Be interesting to see where Stefan Knowles and number 10 is at the moment. The Abaco boats. Right. Sailing number 72. And I believe coming in front of us right now is Crazy Partner sailing on the lower end of the course. And
Yes, number 18.
I'm assuming that number 72 must have gone to the top side. And we're being told on the start, Bull Reg and Barbarian made contact. No penalty, I don't think, for little touches on the start.
Not that I'm aware of, no. It's inevitable when you have these large groups of boats and tight sailing like that in these windy conditions, you're going to bump. But once you get clear, then it's a different story.
All right, and so I believe now we're going to be able to get a handle on which boat is out front as New Eyes sails towards the center of the screen, center of the course. And there.
She's cut the ones coming over from the left side of the course.
And if she's cut them, then that means she may technically be the lead boat at the moment.
I would call her the lead boat right now, Dwight. Yep, she's definitely cut those 3 boats that are coming over from the left.
And I'm telling you, Jeffrey was out late last night and he was proclaiming that he was going to do something magical today. And if he's able to bring in the bacon, it will be a wonderful day in Zion. And we're going to get our drone up, get a better idea of where the boats are. And I believe one boat has come across New Eyes at the moment.
That is correct.
So she's been cut by one boat. We'll see if we can get our drone up and about and pick up.
Watching these boats here, the wind is pretty gusty. I'm seeing boats getting knocked over and then coming back up. A few more tacks can be required to get to that windward marker.
And just a beautiful sight of all the boats sailing right now in the harbor. And New Eyes now just gone back on her starboard tack.
I got 38 C-class entries on my sheet.
There's our drone trying to pick up the boats.
Number 45, New Eyes, up towards the front. Skipper by Red Boy Rule.
And we have a number 15, Miss Rowie. Miss Rowie, I think Will Perotti on the tiller. We've got a collision. 2 boats coming in contact with each other right now. And let's see.
On the screen.
And is that New Eyes that we were just talking about? Unbelievable, unbelievable. 45 and 28. 2 boats out of Rollville, looking like they made some type of contact. And New Eyes was, we were thinking, in the lead for a bit. Unbelievable. I was just singing the praise of Jeffrey, Mackenzie, and New Eyes, and it looks like they've somehow been knocked out of the race as they're trying to get the sail back up and running. Not sure how that happened and what happened. On the top of your screen, and that bright white sail, number 44, Widdy K, coming at you. But New Eyes in trouble.
Yep.
Serious trouble.
And when these C-class boats get in irons and lose the wind off their sail, they're very difficult to get back going again. You got to halfway drop the mainsail, put the boom in the water to spin the boat around. Takes a bit of time and doing. Meanwhile, the rest of the fleet is sailing away from you.
We're going to have to go back and look at that replay at some point to see exactly what happened. And while that's been going on, it looks like the rest of the fleet has been powering along. We'll pick up the sail number. I believe this may be, right now, looking at 28, so that's Fugitive. Not sure she's the lead boat. Got a couple of boats ahead of her. Number 43, Termite, up in there. Looks like Confusion up in there. And the boat that's currently seemingly out front, maybe Xena, if we can get a number of the sail.
Xena's number 90.
Number 90, and that's Xena.
Excellent shot from the drone.
A boat that you need to reckon with, but even more boats up ahead. And this race has gone by very quickly. The wind is pushing them full speed. Each leg is probably only going to be about 20 minutes max.
So although we've got the steady breeze, 16 to 18 miles an hour, the sea conditions are such that it's not really hindering the crew. They just got to pay attention to the wind direction and velocity.
And I think the boats that we see now on screen are the boats that have now made their final tack towards the upwind mark, and we'll get an idea of who those boats are once our drone gets us the sail number. Number 15, Miss Rowie, followed by Sassy Sue, number 10. And those are probably your two lead boats at the moment. And I don't care what you say, in every race, Sassy Sue, Stephen Knowles, if he's on a boat, he's going to be there somewhere at the front. And so we got two lead boats at the moment, Exuma and Miss Rowie. Lincoln Roll owner was out late last night buying everybody drinks, trying to bribe someone. It may have worked because Miss Rowie is now in first place.
She's coming up fast on
very closely by Sassy Sue.
that windward marker there, leaving them plenty of room so they don't foul. Sassy Sue hot on the heels.
And it looks like Bull Reg coming around now in third place, even after having a collision at the start. And Buzzy is known for doing these very, very tight turns at the mark. And he's gone around in third place. Fourth place boat, not showing a sail number.
Is that 88? Shroud? No, I don't see any sail number.
No sail number at all. And then Xena going around in fifth place. Looks like Witty K coming to the mark. Wow. C-class sailing. Underway.
A possible crossing. No, I think they've got him.
Slaughter, number 8. And Slaughter's going to have to do her best to avoid a collision.
Whoa.
She's done it. She's going to have to go all the way around, end up in the back of Confusion. I believe.
Here comes one of the Abaca boats.
Tight to the line right now. And it looks like that was Fugitive that finally made it to the line.
So a quick first windward leg in the C-class race here.
Very quick, very quick. And the lead boats are almost back down to the downwind mark, and some of the start boats have not even made it up to the upwind mark as yet.
Today's C-class race, the Pinalen Cleaners Cup race, brought to you by Bahamas Wholesale Agency.
Absolutely.
We thank them very much for their sponsorship of the National Family Island Regatta, known as the Championship, the National Championship.
And with that being said, we certainly encourage any corporate Bahamas company looking to sponsor, get a hold of the National Family Island Regatta Committee and get yourself signed up for next year's 70th You cannot beat the exposure you get by being a sponsor of the National Family Island Regatta.
Excellent exposure. Your product name is going to be right in front of the faces of many, many people here at the regatta site as well as on the broadcast.
And Miss Rowie doing her best to try hold off Sassy Sue.
It's going to be a quick downwind leg. We got the first two boats coming back into our view.
Flying. And nobody likes to have Stefan Knowles breathing down their necks. But that is what Miss Rowie has to deal with right now. The beast from the east.
Quite often,
roaring dragon.
Quite often the downwinds just end up being a drag race and you don't really change positions, but a little bit of maneuvering, maybe a little sail trim, put your crew in the right place, and you can make up some distance on these downwind legs.
And we have the third, fourth, and fifth boat also coming very fast, so they're not out of it as yet either.
Not by any means. They are definitely right there, the top five. The second upwind leg is going to be interesting to see which way the fleet goes, whether they go left or right or up the middle.
Another fast boat coming into view, number 44, Witty K, with that bright white. I don't think that's Egyptian cotton.
No, that's probably the Oceanus material. It's more expensive, but it's a lot more durable than the cotton. So it's a choice. You are allowed either one. The Egyptian cotton is more traditional, commonly referred to as canvas. But they both feel, sew, and handle like the original Egyptian cotton.
And we've been told that the upwind mark is going to move. It's going to be closer to the bay at Chat and Chill. Helps the boats with the current wind conditions. And so that's going to be one of the changes. I note that there will be no gate for the C-Class either. They're going to have to go around, I assume, on a starboard turn?
Yes, they will do a starboard rounding. It's done in the interest of safety. The race committee doesn't want people tacking because the C-Class boats are probably even crankier than the E-Class. So it's you jibe, it's real easy to roll her over, and all that does is just slow down the day's schedule. We've got one boat here being towed back into Kids Cove.
Yep, one of the yellow boats, and yellow boats traditionally out of Baratari, Mar Laura, Bull Rich, and the like. Not sure which one that is. We'll get an update from the race committee. But a nifty little race going on between first and second. Miss Rowie holding on to a slim lead over Sassy Sue.
I think Sassy Sue's made up a little bit of ground on the downwind. And
definitely has.
Shortly behind them is the third and fourth place boats.
Sassy Sue carrying a slightly larger sail, I believe, than Miss Rowie. And Will Parodi coming up out of the Exuma Sailing Club. Used to be the skipper on Termite for years, but now on Miss Rowie. Boat owned by Lincoln Roll out of Mount Thompson, Exuma. And we'll find out in short order, confirm again the third, fourth, and fifth place boats as they make their way to the leeward downward mark.
I think third and fourth have made ground up on first and second.
Yes, it is definitely starting to get a little bit tighter. And this next upwind leg is going to be crucial, I believe, in determining who is going to win this first points race of the NFIR.
The race is 2 laps, like we did yesterday, but in his overview this morning, the Commodore said that they were going to shorten the courses down a little bit today, so the races are going to be a little quicker than they were yesterday. He had the courses a little longer yesterday, give everybody a little more time to get a feel for their boat for this regatta.
Fourth place, I believe, looks like Bull Reg, number 17. But he may swap places with Zeno by the time they get to the mark because he's sailing high on the course. So top 4 boats right now. Exuma, Long Island, Exuma. And so we have that sandwich effect once again, Captain Plug?
Yeah, well, as I like to say, the cream rises to the top, and we've certainly seen that here in the Z-Class race.
I think David Knowles sailing Xena, and of course Buzzy Roll, who is still feeling a high from his triumphant win in sailing Silent Partner yesterday in the A class. Still feeling a good high from that. And there's number 17, Bulredge. Sailing with a slightly lowered small sail. And that smaller bib doing well to keep him in contention. He's got Sassy Sue still in his sights. He's got Xena to his left. But Buzzy is looking for what's ahead. He smells the meat.
There's the leeward marker coming into view.
And
So-
Miss Roy, just seeing her drop just one. Captain Plug, how do you describe when you lower your sail by one piece?
That's called a reef. You're reefing it down.
So reef down just a bit.
Take a little bit of power out of it. Maybe help stabilize the boat. They'll want to correct that before they make the marker rounding and start heading upwind, I would think.
All right.
So maybe they felt it was a little overpowered. I don't know if that's what I would have done.
Now it looks like they've gone back up to full sail.
Going back up, yeah, because Sassy Sue's coming in there. Rules in sloop sailing don't allow you to sail immediately behind the boat in front of you. That's called bedding. So no bedding on the downwinds is allowed. So Stefan's keeping clear. You got to keep clear by at least one boat length. And you want to keep your boom out of the water there. Skipper.
All right, and there they go.
Coming up on the leeward marker.
And you know, Stefan is known for trying to undercut.
Cutting up in tight and going above the boat in front of him. Let's see if he can pull it off.
And there goes Lady Rory around in first place.
Nice and clean.
Sassy Sue in second.
Sassy Sue is not able to pull up. He is in dirty air right now. He's going to want to attack pretty soon. Otherwise, he's just going to lose. You can see Lady Rowie
And there comes
pulling away.
Bulredge in third place. Xena in fourth place. And fifth place, I believe that's H2O, the boat that came flying out of nowhere yesterday.
Keep your eye on them. They had the best boat speed yesterday in the C class. We
And
got one
there's
boat. Sassy Sue is
Sassy
tacked
Sue's
over.
now tacked over.
Yeah, he was just getting dirty air. He needed to get out of there.
And number 44, Widdy K now.
Woody K coming up real tight on the marker and is getting above all the boats in front of him.
And that boat can fly. She's multiple.
Look at how
Champ.
Woody K is just pulling up into the wind there.
And the rest of the fleet now all making their way. Down 28, and I believe it was Fugitive that had some slight contact with
Buzzy,
45. Well, I think with New Eyes.
Oh, New Eyes. Oh, yes, yes.
Number 18, Crazy Partner out of Abercrombie. Beautiful sight. Now we're going to have a real challenge coming up, Cap, because I see 5 abreast trying to make their way to the mark, and this cannot be nice.
That's a lot of boats to try to get around at one time. So let's have some respect, fellas, but make it nice and tight and exciting for us to watch.
And there they go around number 12, Chaser. Number 3, Lady Eunice. 43, Termite. Irene Goodnight, number 20.
Some of them taking it pretty wide. Meanwhile, there's a boat coming in real tight. They're going to improve their position by about 4.
Number 21, Raging Bull. And the rest of the fleet making their way around.
Meanwhile, I think Sassy Sue is going up the middle there. Woody K, number 44.
Widdy K sailing. Oh, we've got man down, boat down, overboard. Mast broke.
Termite is the broken mast, we've been told.
Broken mast on the termite.
Oh dear, hope everybody's okay. Somebody in the water, a couple people in the water.
Looks like 4 of the crew in the water, but 1 back on board. The rest will make it safely.
I'm sure one of the committee boats will be there momentarily.
Unfortunate for the Exuma Sailing Club crew. Sailing Termite had a 3rd place yesterday.
For the fans and viewers, with these extreme wind conditions we got, it stresses your equipment to the max, and failures are just a part of the game. You just hope that nobody gets hurt when something like that happens.
Yeah, that mast weighs quite a bit, and you don't want that coming down, crashing on anybody's head.
No, sir. I got a boat coming over on port tack at the bottom of your screen.
And it seems like there's a collision between Patent Pride and Legal Weapon. Patent Pride and Legal Weapon in the collision. And that was expected. And you would have some few entanglements just because of the amount of sloops in this sea class. And Sassy Sue now trying to cover. Because Miss Rowie is bearing down. Not sure whether they would have changed positions as yet, but it looks like Sassy Sue may now be on top of Miss Rowie.
So pretty much most of the fleet has gone off to the left. I see some coming up the middle, but I got boats going way out to the left there. So that must be favored this morning. The wind is shifting a little bit, so the regatta committee had to move the windward marker, had to reposition it over by the Chat and Chill on Stocking Island. So it's going to be a bit of an upwind leg here. Be some certain amount of tacking, which is where you got to really pay attention. It's where you can screw up and lose positions.
And I believe Sassy Sue has done what he was trying to do by claiming 1st place. But Ms. Rowie is coming with a lot of speed underneath. Coming with a lot of speed. I think we saw this yesterday with H2O catching up to Sassy Sue.
Moving pretty good.
And I see a couple of boats up top in our view. The boats that went down to the lower side. Whitty K being one of them. It looks like she has gained some ground. She still have to come back.
And she's below, though.
Miss Rowie is powering past Sassy Sue.
Miss Rowie on the right, Sassy Sue right at the bottom of your screen. Almost neck and neck going up to the windward marker. Miss Rowie definitely got speed, boat speed going right now. Very noticeable boat speed
She
over
is
Sassy
absolutely
Sue.
powering.
I think Sassy Sue just did a sail trim, pulled up a little harder on the halyard to take a wrinkle out of the bottom.
Tighten that sail up just a bit.
Tighten that sail up, get it nice and smooth. Neck and neck. Miss Rowie still got a little boat speed on him, I think. And in the background there, at the top of your screen, Whitty K. You can never count them out. That boat is a proven winner.
And Miss Rowie definitely sailing extremely fast right now. Extremely fast on this upwind leg.
Miss Rowie is out of the dirty.
That decided to go lower and then come across, I believe, Xena and Whitty K. And based on this view, it looks like Miss Rowie may have reclaimed the position that she had on Sassy Sue earlier.
I think they definitely have the edge on boat speed right now. Here's a great view of our beautiful aquamarine waters here in the Bahamas. Fleet spreading out a bit on the second windward leg.
Not as bunched up. Excellent sailing.
Each skipper trying to decide which line is going to be the best to his advantage. Different strategies taking place, not unusual. These C-class boats are 17 feet length overall, just a large mainsail, no jib. And I'm sure there's some lead in the keels, and there's definitely movable lead below the floorboards. 5 crew on a windy day like today is the normal. If the air is light, you don't have probably 3 crew.
And you can see the upwind mark coming into view just at the top of your screens. And I could tell you, number 90 has gotten out there. And Zena really stretching it out. She's going to have to come back and meet the boats coming down the middle of the harbor. Sassy Sue is going to have to sail back towards the center. While it seems like Ms. Rowie is on a direct line to the mark. Willie K now trying to cover and get back to the center of the course on her short port tack, and then she's going to swing right back around and get back in line. But the race now, I believe, still between number 10, Sassy Sue, and number 15, Miss Rowie. It's a dogfight to the mark. On your screens right now at the bottom, number 15, Miss Rowie. At the top, number 10.
Like Sassy Sue might be pointing into the wind a little better.
I think Stefan went a little higher on the line and now is coming back down towards the mark. Whereas Ms. Rowie may be sailing directly to the mark.
Pinching up in there, yep.
This one is going to be very close. Very close. At some point, we're going to see exactly where Zena is relative to these two boats and the mark. And there's number 17, Bulredge, also in the mix.
And there's the marker in the background.
There is the mark. A little bit misleading at the moment as to who is closer. But it's all going to play out in front of us in short order because we're going to get it drawn up and be able to see from above. No boats to the mark as yet. There's Zena coming into your view. Still sailing upwind. Still sailing upwind. She's gonna have to come back on a port tack in order to make the mark. I believe we should see Sassy Sue. Look like Miss Rowie. And at the bottom, number 8, Slaughter, coming into view. And they're all gonna have to go back. Sassy Sue, I believe, sailing closest to the mark at the moment. Sassy Sue sailing so low in the water. Number 21, Raging Bull.
Although these boats represent the look of the old working boats, they're probably cut a little lower, not as much freeboard, but they still have the shape of the look of the older working boats. Got to be careful though in these small boats. When there's sea, you don't want to take too much waves over the bow, whether you have a bilge pump or a bucket. Doesn't take much.
To get rid of.
And next thing you know, you're a submarine.
And this is a view from the back of the course. And so even though we can see the mark, it's a little bit misleading as to where these boats are relative to the mark.
They've got to go over to the right of the screen and then tack over and come around. We need to get the drone up.
And I believe we now see our first boats going to the mark.
Yeah, we do.
And I believe it may be, you're gonna see now, looks like it may be Miss Rowie heading to the mark first.
Yes, Sassy Sue just coming in on the right of the
And
screen.
Sassy Sue in second place. Not confirmed as yet. We know Sassy Sue for sure in second, but wait to confirm. The first place boat is number 15, Miss Rowie.
Still very close together.
And number 90, Xena, sailing in third place. That's a beautiful shot. Anybody who's into painting, that's the shot that you want.
Woody K tacking over, number 44.
Getting right in the mix, the first boat around. Second boat, Sassy Sue around. Third boat. And we have a correction. Bull Reg, number 17, Buzzy Roller sailed himself into first place and gone around. Yes, because we now see number 15, Ms. Rowie, now she's fallen back all the way to about 9th place because Crazy Partner is in front of her. 44 is in front of her.
Telephoto lens makes it difficult to determine. A couple of boats there right in the middle of the screen, real close together, fighting for position.
And if that's Bull Reg that has gone around in first place, that is a feat. He's come from all the way behind to catch the top boats on the upwind leg. And Buzzy knows his harbor just as well as anybody else. He's still feeling so good from his victory in Silent Partner yesterday. Disappointed that Lady Sonia didn't perform in the B class because he lost a man overboard. But Lady Sonia, Bull Reg, Buzzy Roll in first place with Sassy Sue on his tail.
Miss Rowie right behind him. No, I'm sorry.
Xena,
number 90.
And Bull Reg starting to stretch out just a little bit on Sassy Sue, but Sassy Sue's got herself a huge sail. Perfect for these downwind legs.
That's one of Stefan's characteristics. He's always got on a sail a little bigger than the rest of the fleet.
But I can tell you, it looks like Xena is coming also with some speed. And she's a boat that we know can sail. Older brother of Stefan Knowles, David Knowles, sailing Xena. Also sails Legend. Boat that had a mishap with the tidal wave in the A class yesterday evening. But Bull Reg holding on to first place.
Well, we've been advised by the race committee that the downwind marker has been shifted over by Monument Beach and the Coconut Club on Stocking Island. which means that we probably had a bit of a wind shift, so they want to make it as fair and as even as possible, so they've made a course adjustment. So we got the boats now heading down over towards Monument Beach on Stocking Island. There you have Bull Reg, number 17, out of Exuma, holding the lead.
Sailing with only a 4-man crew, it seems. Actually, no, I see number 5 sitting low.
The name of the boat, Bull Reg, Buzzy's dad, they called him Bulla Reggie. His name was Reggie, Bulla Reggie. So they shortened it Bulla Reggie down to Bull Reg.
And we have a tight first, second, third. Sassy Sue holding on to second place. Xena holding on to third place. And it looks like we've got some trouble now at the upwind mark. A boat stalling, having to lower the sails. She may have missed the mark and now have to do a go around.
Oh boy.
Another boat. We got 2 boats now trying to catch themselves.
Yeah, the yellow boat there on the right, they're floundering. Looks like they got wind in the sail, but they ain't going nowhere.
And number
Nope, they're in
12,
irons.
that's Chaser.
They are in irons. Meanwhile, Xena working real hard from third place to get up around number 10. Sassy Sue in second place. Both of them chasing Buzzy Roll, number 17, Bull Reg in first, heading to the leeward marker. A few more spectator boats out today. And you can see the cruising boat fleet anchored off of Monument Beach there at the top right. Hope they're all enjoying these races. Woody K pushing hard. Be nice if all the guys would have large numbers in their sails like the number 44 there.
Yes, yes, yes. You'd be able to see it.
You all boat owners got that? Large numbers on the sails, please.
Miss Roy, number 15, who had the lead on the first leg, has dropped all the way down to 6th place.
She had some kind of trouble. Maybe just took the wrong line up to the windward marker and got overtaken.
And it looks like this may be the finish, you think?
Well, it's to be the end of the second lap, so I think, yes, this would be the finish.
I see.
Especially they want to keep on track time-wise.
It's a gate to 2 boats, so I believe we may have the finish. And if this is the finish, Bull Reg has done it. I don't see her attacking, doing anything else. I believe the race is over.
Straight through.
Bull Reg in first place, Sassy Sue in second, Xena in third. Followed by, I believe, H2O. Yep, sails coming down. Race is over. And what an accomplishment by Buzzy Roll in Bull Reg to come from behind and win it all.
After that start line kerfuffle, well done, Buzzy and crew, to come back and take first place here in this first points race in the 69th Annual National Family Island Regatta.
And whenever you can come from behind and catch and beat Stephen Knowles, that's an accomplishment to be proud of. Well deserved.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to all the sailors for getting this first points C-class race under the belt. Challenging conditions, and so race committee shortening the race just a bit to a complete, as opposed to 2.5 laps, just making it 2 laps.
Yep, that was a good sprint race. I don't think anybody complained about the length of the course or anything like that. And by shortening it down a bit, it'll help us to keep on the daily schedule.
Yep.
So we don't get behind like what happened yesterday.
Yeah, and you know, I believe the mere fact that we did have a couple of lead changes, you couldn't say that any one particular boat was favored because of a shorter distance.
Not at all. These fellas are showing their skill and determination. When you see positions changing like that, that skill and experience brings on those things.
Well, Captain Plug, the first points race in C-class over and done with. We're getting ourselves ready now for Class B and Class A coming up later today. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely, very much so. The breeze is up, but they'll be able to handle the wind, and the seas are okay. So we'll take a short break here, I'm thinking, and
Come
be back for the B class at 1:30?
1:30, I believe. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, yes.
2 o'clock.
So be sure to set an alarm so that you don't forget about the broadcast, and be sure to tune in and catch all the action here from Elizabeth Harbor and Georgetown, Exuma.
We'll be back.